What's that?
It's all happening. We're live. We've got the Trinity here, the trilogy, the trio, the rhythm section. What's up, gentlemen?
What up, baby?
Well, we're late because of you. We're late because of you.
Well, I was hoping.
We'll know that. Let's listen. First thing.
I'm sorry. What about? Hey, Pete, is it me and you? Is it me or you, or is Reuben's? Your signal's kind of islandish right now.
It's yeah. Reuben's a little bit pixelated.
Your signal's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Yeah. It's yours. It's yours. Is that Italian Wi-Fi?
I'm seeing Greg fine. I'm seeing Reuben fine. What's up, everybody on YouTube? Just to let you know this, first of all, the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Reuben Rogers. Woo!
That's me.
I'm doing a new thing on lives.
Wonderful.
I'm doing clapping.
Amazing.
I'm doing live clapping for the masses. So.
Oh.
Yeah. No, but not for yourself. Not for yourself, just for others.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And then over on the left, we have none other than the legendary, mi compadre, Mr. Gregory Hutchinson, aka Hutch.
Sorry, you said legendary though.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We clap for others.
Wait, you got your pixels together. Was somebody standing on your roof holding the thing up there for the signal, or what? What's happening, man?
You got jokes.
That was for you, Reuben,
yeah.
I believe.
All right. Okay, yeah. Whatever.
So how you guys doing? How's it going?
We good, man. Good to see you, man.
Good, man. You know, adjusting. Hello.
Adjusting, right.
Hello.
What are we in, week 9, week 10? We don't even know. I know one thing, the last time, we've talked about this before, but I think about this every day. The last time I played music with other human beings was with you, Reuben, down in New Orleans. What seems like, I don't know if it was years ago or months ago or days ago. It all kind of comes together, right?
2 months ago. Who knew?
I know.
Shoot, you knew you were going to be the last person I played with. Oh, God. That's horrible.
No, not the last. Just for now.
Oh, God.
For now.
Oh.
Ciao. Okay. Come on. Ciao.
So, anyway. Okay. So today we're here to talk about whatever we want as usual. And I really appreciate you guys being here with the Open Studio family. You guys are, you're legends, but you're friends too. So that's always fun to have the intersection. But I don't mean you're legends as in you're old. It just means you're OGs, not old guys, right. Original gangsters, But we also are here to celebrate the release of we're here to celebrate the release of a course that I'm probably gonna have to spend the first 5 minutes not only describing to our audience, but describing to you guys, because we did it what seems like so long ago. So first of all, the name of it is Rhythm Section Workout, and you guys don't even remember what I'm talking about, do you?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you do. Okay, good.
When did we do that though? We did that like 2 years ago.
I think it was a year and a half ago, actually. Going on 2 years. And
really?
And it wasn't so much they got lost in the shuffle. We've always been looking at it and talking about it here in Open Studio.
We just went swinging.
No, it's so great. It's so in depth. It's so much more in depth than I even remembered as Adam was going back through it, and we're getting the transcriptions together and stuff. There's a lot of play alongs. You guys remember the play alongs that we did?
Yeah.
And we did 10 tunes, and each one of them we did like versions where a vocalist or horn player could play with us. Yeah,
that's right. I remember that.
Or just a bass player or just a piano player can come in. It was kind of it's really the first time we've done this much extensive play along situation. And so I'm really excited for the release. And actually it's available now. There's a link below. We're doing 50% off for the whole weekend in celebration of us all being together. And
Come on.
If you guys approve.
You see how this works? You see what I'm saying?
I know, right?
No,
corporate America at its best.
Hey, Reuben,
warn us about the 50% off.
No, because we're trying to help folks out here, man.
You see how he shamed us into it? Do it live so everybody gotta see it. So we can't really be like, no, what you talking about, man? Are we giving them a break? Aren't you giving them a break on pay whatever you can to get
yeah.
Catch is like, wait. Catch is like, pay 100? Nah, fine.
You know what? We really haven't had that problem, man. I mean, a little bit, drummers, we've had a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. A couple of drummers have been like, all I can pay. What about zero?
No, seriously.
Guys, drummers are like, how about you pay me to take Hutch's course? What's up with that?
Hey, guys, Peter Martin and Adam, everybody there is doing a great job. And really, we're joking around with you guys, but really, that the offers that they've given to you are I've not really heard of that happening too much. So please take advantage of it. I'm not saying that because we've done the courses here, but how many times is someone going to offer you all of this stuff and pay what you can? That's unheard of. So take advantage of it, because we know that when you are able to, you'll pay it forward.
That's right. That's right. And plus, it's exactly. It's one circle, and it's been such a joy to hear people's reactions. Especially, we have, I think, more than ever, professional players that are like, man, I don't have any gigs, just like us. We're all like no gigs, and it's so inspiring to see people that, like you guys. I mean, from the beginning, it's like, we've been talking about this. You've got your practice routines. I have mine. Reuben, you have yours, and that's the way players are like, let me learn something new and go in to check out, our courses and stuff. As opposed to just being like, let me just sit home and feel sorry for myself. So I'm excited for when cats start getting back out there, because I think everybody's been shedding, and definitely our open studio community is taking the opportunity to to catch up on. Well, we got drummers and bass players taking piano courses. They're like, you know what? I've been wanting to up my piano game, so let's do that. I've been studying Elio Alves's Brazilian jazz piano course, and it's been like, I'm like, why wasn't I looking at this before? Choose what you can pay. It's free for me. I could have been on that. I could have been on this.
I wrote Hutch just some weeks ago. I started checking out his brush course.
Yeah,
I gotta say, I was like, oh, it's kind of fun.
Wait, which ones? The ones I was doing on my own, or the ones that are professionally done? Because there's a lot of them.
It was the one you did at the studio.
We got to bring back that Hutch cam, man. The Hutch cam was banging, man. We don't have any footage like that. Like the body cam, that was kind of dope, man. The body cam was dope.
And actually,
wrap up yourself. That's good.
No, it really was. And actually, I'm thinking that's the perfect thing for social distancing, because like that's the closest you're going to be allowed to get to Hutch for at least like 18 months. You're going to have the view from here.
Right.
Let's not depress. Oh no, but you know what's funny? How can I tell you guys this in a very discreet? So right now, since I'm between my places in New York and Italy, you understand what I'm saying? Right? Already here, since I got stuck here, they're talking about June. Like people calling me and asking me, or now, like today, as of today, do I feel like working in June? And man, there's one part of me that's super excited about that, and then there's the other part of me that's scared as hell, bro.
Yeah,
like I already said, well, these are the conditions that have to be, and I have to go to the place and see what's up. And I never thought like I would be thinking like this, but is that going to be the new norm? Like, is that what we're in now?
Yeah.
Man, I just think, I mean, who knows, man? I mean, it's like we're always speculating every day, because it's like, what else can we do? But I know one thing, that when there will be gigs, right? And it's going to be different, but I think that we're going to really appreciate both the players and the listeners. I mean, we're all in this together. I think we realize that even more so. So a performance, and the three of us, I mean, we've done so many gigs together with apart over the years. I mean, and this is not bragging or whatever, it's just because we got a lot of kids between us. We just take a lot of gigs, but we probably got more gigs than any rhythm section, over the last 25 years. And I think now it's going to be like every gig is going to be so special, because we know when that's taken away from you, what that is. And I think that for the audience, it's going to be the same thing. And for us, and it's like, I think we always realize that on those special gigs, and we have those memories of like being at the Vanguard, or being at, that great concert hall in Vienna, and like special things happen, and there's a special audience. And, I mean, all gigs we treat as special, but when you hit that pinnacle, it's so exciting. But I think that we're going to be trying to make that every gig, because we're not going to be able to, I mean, for sure at the beginning, to be like hitting it 5-6 European cities tour, getting on and off planes every day. That's at least for a while, the days of that are going to be over. So we're going to have to make it a special event for everyone, and for people to come out to a gig. That's going to be like, man, I got to get a mask. I got to get,
exactly.
And I think that people are going to need to see other people. Like, is the water cool? Are the sharks? They're going to need to see other. Wait, they went to the Vanguard and they're still alive. All right, cool.
Well, I mean, you look like you're bait. You're bait. You're going to test the water for us.
No, you guys. Oh yeah, exactly. Hudson's gonna. Right.
You're a trailblazer. Look at you playing.
But wait, you've seen my outfit for playing live, right? You've seen that, right?
You're extreme.
Don't make me go get it right now. The mask and the shield, I got both.
You know what's funny, man? I was telling somebody just the other day. I mean, Hutch. I mean, you're extreme in general. It don't matter if it was a pandemic or not.
Well, why is that extreme? Why is that extreme?
Right? You're
why is that
extreme?
Anything. Why is that extreme? Why is that extreme? If the doctors are doing it.
What I'm trying to say is that whether that's extreme or not, I mean, depends on the person. You know, I mean, you might not think it's extreme. The next person might not may think it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, it's not extreme anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now it's not.
That's what I'm saying. But you always on the I guess the side of caution, like to the 20th degree. I mean, that's just who you are. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's comical to me, but it's great. And so that's what I'm saying. I think you even going out into taking a chance out if you decide to take this gig, I don't know. It's great. It's great for me. It's like, okay, cool. If Hutch can do it, maybe I can.
Well, that's the whole thing. Hutch is, you know, that's the side that's kind of like, it's going to take I mean, once we start playing, here's the thing, guys. Once we start doing what we're doing, I doubt very strongly that we'll be thinking about that. And with that comes, I guess, will come a slight case of maybe being a little not cautious enough because we'll let our guard down, and that's where we got to worry about. Because we'll be like, oh, this shit cool. First couple of gigs, and then until they come up with a vaccine, it's crazy. But at the same time, I can't sit in this house and just play on mesh heads, or even if I had drums playing full strength, it's not the same thing, man.
Right.
We need human touch. We need to play the music together.
Right.
No doubt. No doubt. That's a good segue. Let's talk about some music now.
Yeah. Oh, and I want to just say a quick, we're going to talk about the well, actually, you know what? I mean, that's really what it's about. We talk about rhythm section, you know, what we did on this course, just to refresh you guys and me, and to let folks know about this. You know, the idea we did rhythm section fundamentals a couple years ago, and it was, remember the old location with the brick wall, and this has been one of our, you don't remember, you never watched it, did you? Well, you didn't need it. You made the thing, but we had such a good time on that. But what I think what I presented to you guys that day was like the curriculum for this, the pedagogy is going to be based upon like how do we see our roles in a rhythm section and in a trio at the same time. Not even necessarily like when we're playing with each other. Of course, we're looking at through that lens, but I remember I said, you know, just like what is the role of the bass? What are the things that you do, you know, as a bass player, you know, to succeed in this situation and in any situation. And so what you guys said, and we kind of went through each of the instruments and really talked about the fundamental things, not the fundamental things necessarily about just playing the bass or playing the drums, but like playing with the rhythm section. How do you interact? What are you listening for? And then we demonstrated. I mean, everything was like demonstration, and we had such a fun time doing that. And I think we laid a lot of stuff out there. And then, you know, we had such a positive response. That's been one of our most beloved courses, that the rhythm section workout, really what our idea is to give folks now something to practice, like actionable things to practice, whether you have a rhythm section with you or not. In fact, we were kind of thinking, we were ahead of our time. We already knew Corona was coming, man, because we got our ears to the ground a year and a half ago. No, we don't. Okay.
Of course, you're right, Pete.
Right. No, but the idea was like, how do you practice? Because, you know, so many people used to always tell me, it would be like, oh, well, you learn to play with a drummer by playing with the drummer. And I was like, well, that's great. But I'm younger. I'm like, I'm playing with crappy drummers. I don't want to learn how to, I already know how to play with a crappy drummer. How do I learn how to play with a great drummer so that if I get a chance to do it, I'll be ready? And so that was really the impetus behind this course.
No doubt. And then you got Hutch, who's man, actually, I was able to look at some of it. Rachel did send me some of it, and I mean, we were long-winded, but it was great. Actually, I didn't even remember actually everything we did. It was actually it felt good. It felt really good.
We were long-winded.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, because Reuben, you sent us that message just saying like on something that you did, you know, and it's so funny because it's just like when we're in the studio, you know, you're such a perfectionist with what you're playing. It's like, let me go fix that one note. You did that when we were in New Orleans in March. I was like, what are you talking about? It sounded killing. You're like, no, I want it to be right. And but you suggested on this, you were like, man, why don't we edit down some of the stuff you were saying? And you know, Adam, and I echoed that, was really like, man, no, it's so impactful, the things that you guys say. We joke about it and we say it all the time and we've heard it a lot, but people want to hear it, need to hear it, and then also need to hear it repeated. I know I need to hear it repeated. I mean, you guys have said one of the joys for me during this time has been, you know, watching you guys, my other friends, and just people that I play with all the time say the same things, but I'm like, wait, am I actually following that in my practice? Oh, let me do that. Like, we got to hear this stuff over and over again. And that's kind of what builds up the community too.
No, it's something to the rawness of it too, especially just the way we're able to you know, interact and do our thing, you know, organically. I mean, there's something to that, you know, I think, which is, you know, lost sometimes.
The chemistry of the rhythm sections, all those years we've been playing together. Come on, I mean, that's I think it boils down to just really that. Like, we just spent so much time playing music together that why not us to make a rhythm section video? We are the rhythm section.
Right. Hashtag cocky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I got a couple things. We're going to take some questions from folks, but I got a couple things. So I'm going to pick on you, Hutch, because I was watching your Instagram earlier today. And, you know, those of you that don't follow Greg on IG should get with that, especially drummers, because he lays out, you know, sometimes they're casual, sometimes they're super dogmatic, but it's always a drum clinic. I mean, you can just watch what he's shedding on and, you know, learn so much. And you're not going to get this opportunity again, most likely. But
and it's not paid what you can either.
It's free. No. It's free, but also you're doing lessons too. And I know a couple of professional, like, accomplished drummers. I won't even mention their name, but they texted me. They're like, "Yo, I got a lesson with Hutch," and Hutch was like, "No, man, you're the man. Don't pay me." I was like, "No, I'm paying you for the lesson because I got so much out of it." So hit him up for that if you got the time and the resources. But what you said this morning, first of all, my first bone to pick with you, Hutch, is you were like, "Yeah, man, everybody check me out on YouTube Live, Open Studio in 3 hours. The link is in my bio. Me and my boy Reuben are just gonna be laying stuff out, talking." I always love seeing Reuben. I was like, "Cool, Reuben," and then I was waiting for like my, you know, and then he was like, "Yeah, Reuben and me."
I'm sorry, Master, because you own the damn fucking network. What do you want, man?
You're like, we're gonna do a rhythm section thing, just me and Reuben. You can
I say Open Studio Network. Everybody knows that two black guys don't own that damn network. It's your network.
Yeah. All right. Okay. He got me.
I mean, it was the most important part of the course. I mean, of this whole thing. I mean, you're just.
You're right, Pete. I'm sorry.
No, but I did think about it more, and this is something I've joked with you guys and with McBride about, and I've heard on a reel. The rhythm section, it's taken me so many years, 49 years, to fully realize this. The rhythm section is the bass and the drum. Yeah, I'm 49. Hey, you're getting up there too, buddy. You're getting up there too. So listen to your elders. Me and Greg, listen to your elders.
Go ahead.
No, but the rhythm section, and this is a painful thing it's not a painful thing. It's an important thing for pianists to realize in a very fundamental way. We're not in the rhythm section. So when we talk about rhythm section workout, that's actually the bass and the drums. I mean, full-time members. You know, the piano is we love to be part of it, and we can, but we dance in and out. We dance with the horn. You know, we dance with a lot of situations. I think trio is different. Like, you know, when it's a trio, it's like it feels like we're a little bit more packed in there together as the rhythm section. But I think that was kind of your subtle way, Hutch, of saying, yeah, rhythm section, me and Reuben. Oh, you're gonna be there? Cool.
You see, guys, you see how he does. You see, that's just wrong, man. I didn't mean it, man. It slipped.
It was all good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then my
other bone to pick with me. Come on.
No. And that was not a bone. And this is just a funny Hutchinson. I want to see if Reuben knows about this. Anybody on here can give me an amen if you've noticed this. You ever notice Hutch, like, when he's about to like drop something, like he's like his album that's coming out, or if he's gonna do something, it's never like, yeah, check me out on this. It's like, yo, you better be ready. This is coming. I'm coming for you, man. No, y'all ain't ready, man. This is about to be epic. All right, peace.
Shit is epic. It's been 50 damn years. It's epic.
He's consistent.
And just and as we were talking about before, you see how funny things are, man. It's epic. It's ready to go. And what happens? What we got?
Yeah.
We got no work. We got COVID. We got everything shut down. Everything. Yeah, the record company shut down too, man. I'm watching cats that are signed to labels dropping stuff. Cats is like, yo, I'm about to drop that. I'm like, wait, that cat signed to the label. Cats are just doing it on their own now. So
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Try to go on Amazon in any country and buy any kind of home recording, or B&H or any of that, man. Everything is sold out, man, because everybody's
gone. Yeah, it's gone, man. Cats is everybody. I mean, I've seen cats on Instagram that I didn't even know actually like just a plethora, as Reuben would say.
right.
And everybody's trying, some people, hey guys, okay, here's the thing. I just got
This is the thing. It's about to be epic, what I'm going to say.
It's about to be epic. Now, I know we all at home, and I don't want to, but some of y'all, just be easy with what you're putting up there. Because just make sure the shit makes sense. Just make sure it makes sense. Don't just put up random stuff, like, put up something that represents you in a good way.
That's
like,
right.
I know it's funny, but
Right. Just because it's a pandemic, let's not let all our standards just fall apart.
Yeah, don't get tricky now. Because when it's over, that's gonna be there forever.
Right. Well, that's like
it's all about perspective, though, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Anyway. So wait, you guys got 10,000 followers, right?
We did. 3,000. Yeah, 3,000 of them may be on from a Bangladeshi bot farm or something. I'm not sure, but no, we did. We're really excited. Rachel Morgan, big shout out to Rachel Morgan, who has really upped since she's been on board. She's shepherded in the Instagram and upped our game. But really, I got to say, it's like you guys, the artists. I mean, because of the content that we have to put up there. I mean, 10,000 is great if you have something. I mean, they're not going to come and stay if there isn't valuable and entertaining stuff. And so what you guys provide, what all the artists and what the community in being engaged, actually a lot of the growth of that was from our OS Spotlight program, where our members will post things. And if you tag OS Spotlight and tag Instagram, Rachel will, repost a lot of those. And that's been one of the greatest things for growing things, because, it's great to see, Reuben playing incredible lines. But a lot of times people, especially at the more beginner and intermediate level, they need to see cats that are on their way to that too. Like that's the promised land, the level you want to get to. And then, being able to see other people making progress towards getting towards there is super inspiring, for everybody, for us too, And I think, I know we've talked about this and all the artists at Open Studio, we go in and make the lessons, and like rhythm section workout is like anything, we do it. And then it's like, we don't know if it's going to come out in 3 months or in 6 months or in a year. And we can't totally imagine the impact that it's going to have. We hope, but we always are like, man, was that cool what we said? Or, oh, well, it's done now. It's like a one-way thing. But then when it comes out and people start watching it, and you start to see, it's like, wow, people are getting better. They're getting inspired by watching this stuff. It's super meaningful because, this time, we're able to kind of do these lives and do one-on-ones and stuff, which is great. But, once everybody's gigging again, nobody has time to reach the number of people that we can reach with one video.
No.
Well, I think this is going to be a norm. I think we should think about this more than the latter when people start gigging again. I think that's going to be a little while for that. So this is going to be a pretty normal platform right here for a minute.
Yeah. So we have, I just want to throw a couple things out before I get behind. Sergio, big shout out. What's up, Sergio? Says, hey man, Hutchology and the fundamentals of jazz are killing courses. I agree. What do you think about that, Hutch?
Wow.
They're epic.
Yo, let me talk to you, man. It's about to be epic. Sergio, my brother, did you pay full price or did you pay half price? Thank you, Sergio.
He said, ha ha ha. So, but actually, what that comes from, Hutch, was this morning. This just shows you. I watch a lot of your IGs. When you talked about Harlan so you guys were talking about putting some stuff together from your other live that I watched, which was super cool. Just you guys going back and forth. But as soon as you saw that, you're like, see, Harlan sent me those beats, man. See, no, y'all ain't ready. He immediately went into the Hutch was like, man, y'all ain't ready. No, forget it. You know what? I might not even release this. This could be so epic, man, because y'all ain't ready. Next.
Oh man, don't do me like that, man.
Oh, that was awesome.
Sorry.
Okay, so we got Sergio says always supporting you, Hutch.
Thank you, Sergio. He knows.
Peter Narajowski has. I have a question for Reuben. What's your approach when you play with a drummer that's dragging? How do you make the band sound better in such a situation?
Okay, well, with Hutch, usually,
I served it for you.
What I did for many years with him. No, I mean, really and truly, you have to, I don't know, be very confident in your own time, secure in your own time. You know, that's the biggest part. It's hard. It's hard to actually help a drummer along if they're not hearing it themselves.
That's
really,
right.
Especially when if their bass drum is powerful or is overpowering you in a certain kind of way.
Talk about that. What is that?
When the feathering, you mean?
What is that? Why is it? Why is it?
Why does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, the bass drum is a powerful instrument in itself, right? So,
yep.
And I think a lot of drummers just don't even realize that they're playing the bass drum louder than, as loud as they are. So that affects the music a lot of times. You know what I mean? When just sorry, I'm gonna build over there. I think, as I said before, being secure in your own time and really, and it's okay to just even say something subtly, especially if they're not hearing it. Because a lot of times people just don't even realize they're dragging, and you don't want the music to just start to be flams, if you're like pushing ahead and he's like, you just got to accept it. You accept what it is to make it better, So, that's the best advice I can give you in the moment, Mm-hmm.
Hutch, what do you think from the drummer perspective on that? Is it the same, or is there a different nuance there for drummers?
Yeah, I mean, it ends up it's the same way, because you can't forcefully pull another instrument in the rhythm section. I mean, the only thing we can do is talk to each other. If the bass player feels it, or the drummer feels it, just communicate, and try and find another way to deal with the situation. Now, sometimes you might have to adjust. You might have to compromise, and go the other way, and you might learn something different.
Right.
It as long as you're swinging, that's the ultimate goal. We want to swing. So as long as you're not fighting each other, and
it's about communication.
The bass.
It's about communication and the way you present it. Not
exactly.
in a way that brings you together. Not like, yo, you dragging. That's a really big part of it too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'll just add, from a pianist standpoint, this is one of those situations where you do have to think as a pianist. I mean, it all depends on the exact style of music and the flow, but it's really not like, I don't think it's very rare. It's the pianist's role to get involved with that kind of pushing, pulling, really trying to control not the tempo. I mean, like if the tempo's getting off, that's a group responsibility to like tighten each other up. But I think that it's not the pianist's role to like get into the nuances of like feeling the beat on top or laying back or whatever, because it's such a, like all the great bass and drum combinations like you guys, and I've probably seen on the stage you guys more than anybody. That's a very it's a two-way conversation, and not that we aren't speaking musically in other ways, me and you, there's always things flying around, but like that foundation that the groove and really the form and everything builds off of has to start with the two, and maybe even in some ways the bass but I mean the bass and the drums, and then if the piano comes in and tries to be like, oh, I'm better than y'all, I'm going to control. I've never seen that work successfully, even with a good pianist.
2 against 1 ain't gonna work.
Exactly. And 1 against 1 doesn't work either.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's pretty well. I mean, we swing together and we fail together. So that's how I look at it. Like, we're only as good as all three of us playing the beat in a comfortable place where we can all express ourselves, as opposed to feeling like, oh man, every time you play a note, like, damn, what's gonna happen now? Like, so, and then the joy is every night is different, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the joy in it too. One night, a tune that we might play on top on, We might travel the whole day and come the next night. That tune ain't gonna be on top. It's gonna be a low. It's gonna be where it needs. It's gonna be how we feel that day, right? So being flexible, I guess, is the main message. Be flexible, guys.
Yep. Awesome. So we had Tom is asking, is it a good idea to go straight for this new course, or will I need to get the fundamentals first?
Well, Tom, I mean, I don't know. Going straight is what you want to do. That's fine. And you can no, for the course, guys. For the course.
I think. I mean, the little I saw this this course. I think they're very different.
Yeah. Love you too.
I mean, because we get into like some really like banter, like just like this. That is kind of priceless, I think. And we don't. I think we do some of that. We kind of like break things down very like incrementally in the first rhythm section workout. So I think it doesn't matter. I think you can do either.
Yeah.
I mean, personally. Yeah.
I mean, I think that if you want to, if you're really interested in rhythm section playing and getting everything you can out of it, and you're planning on doing both, I would do fundamentals first, only because I remember as we were recording and even kind of the way it was edited and stuff, the workout, it was with the assumption. I mean, it wasn't with the requirement that you were never like, remember in rhythm section fundamentals, but we were also like, let's not repeat a lot of that stuff. And because the first one is the fundamentals, you definitely, if you only watch the new one, you'd be like, man, they didn't even talk about some important things. I mean, we might reference them, but we're kind of going with the assumption that you've seen that. So if you have the time and don't have any gigs like now, I would recommend doing them in order if you're going to do both. But if you just want to jump in on the new course, it's going to be fine. There's no required reading. Hey, see, look, now we're a quartet. We're not a trio. I like it. She can't hear me though.
Hey.
So cool. I'm just seeing if I'm trying to get better about kind of keeping up. What's up, Colleen?
Good. Get better.
Get it better.
You've done this like 800 times now. Come on,
You too, man. I'm just seeing you every time I look at my calendar. Am I doing one with you? Okay, here we go. I saw you and Ulysses the other day. I know you guys were avoiding my questions. I noticed my comments and taking everybody else's.
No, that's Rachel. That's Rachel Madam. I didn't see none of that.
Oh my God, it's kind of late for me, so I didn't catch it. I'll catch it I'll catch it.
Doesn't matter.
He's a little earlier.
More questions.
You could watch it anytime. Okay, so M. Rick says, what are some practical ways of learning how to interact with bandmates without getting in the way, from a drummer's point of view specifically?
What are some, how to interact without getting in the way? Less is more. Less is better. I'm sorry. Less is better. Less is better. Listening, leaving space. Those are all the ways to kind of do all of those things and not get in the way. And then also, I think the people that you're playing with, you probably understand the vocabulary. Like usually we tend to play with people that kind of like-minded. So if that's the case, then when you're playing with these people, you can almost hear how they might think. You won't know what they're going to play, but if you can understand that, then you can stay out of the way and kind of, pick and choose your moments to interject. Drummers don't always have to play, man. Mm-hmm. Like they don't pay me for the amount of notes I play. They don't pay for that. So your left hand doesn't always have to be moving. You can just play time. You can just swing.
Yeah,
it's all right to swing.
I mean, it goes back to just learning to be selfless in the music. I mean, this is a selfless music. The best players know how to just be selfless and be able to look at the whole picture from, in front of the bandstand instead of just, at the bass or the piano chair or the drum chair. Being really selfless and, on the side, if that's what you're going for, to just kind of stay out of the way, be as conservative as possible until you add as you need to, you know what I mean? But it just comes from that mentality of being selfless first in the music.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. And I would just say, you're asking from a drummer's perspective, but sometimes I think about, like, a lot of times I explain piano comping in a rhythm section situation as primarily listening first. And everyone's always thinking, yeah, listening to the soloist. And of course we're listening because we're supporting them. But I've spent so much time listening to specifically the snare drum of the drummer and what they're playing there and that conversation. Sometimes I almost feel like I have more inspiration from hearing that than what I think the piano should be playing. So like to be able to be selfless, to listen, to stay out of the way of other instruments, you almost have to get better at listening to those instruments than listening to your instruments. It's like, yeah, we're going to listen to Herbie and Wynton Kelly and all these great pianists on records for sure. But the actual art of doing something in the moment and playing with other people, you have to be, I mean, it's just like having a conversation with someone. We all know people that know how to listen to themselves really well, but it's like, can you listen to the people around you, even when you're talking, and like pick up on those cues? And so I've gotten some of the best inspiration, you know, for rhythms and just conversational type of stuff. I was just saying this yesterday on we did a little thing, like an in-house thing with a lot of the jazz piano method people at Open Studio. And I was like, you know, rhythms for comp. And I'm like, just listen to a great drummer play the snare drum. They will give you a lifetime of ideas, you know? And then when you come back to play with them, you're going to know something about them and their conversation style. And then maybe you can talk to them.
No doubt.
That's right.
No doubt.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, Pete. Good answer.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm trying.
Little Pete.
I'm trying.
Little Pete.
You probably have questions already, right?
I saw Chick Corea's masterclass this morning and I picked that up from him. Big shout out to Chick. No, just kidding. I did though, man. Have you guys seen any of the stuff he's been broadcasting from his practice studio in Florida?
No.
Oh man, it's incredible. In fact, it's so good. I was like, I'm praying that the pandemic will be done. I want the pandemic to end so we can all go gig, but I want somehow the message to get lost and Chick Corea doesn't hear that it's over. So he's still at home every day, like putting stuff out. So why? Like we'll block all the incoming messages. So he'll be like, you know.
Wow. Yeah. What is it on? Is it on Instagram or what is it on?
It's on Facebook, and then he's got it on he started his own thing now. There's some good stuff on YouTube too. Yeah, he started his own thing, the Chick Corea Masterclass. I think it's chickcoreamasterclass.com. Yeah.
Good plug for the master.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's such a great combination of like inspirational and kind of, you know, not spiritual, but, you know, philosophical talking about music, which is great. But he also does a lot of like nuts and bolts and technique and piano nerd stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah. Super nice human being also.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mark is asking, hey gents, what sorts of ways do you practice with Mr. Metronome besides the usual playing on 2 and 4 and the ands, etc.?
I don't really. The metronome is just for me for the rudiments. So that's how I use it. Other than that, I personally don't use it, but I make my students use it when they're working on Jim taping because they need help sometimes with the time and to focus. But I've never really, the only time I've ever used a metronome was practicing rudiments. I've never tried to swing and play jazz to a metronome. Now we've done stuff in the studio to a click track, but that's not practicing. That's actual performance. So for drums, I think that for the rudiments it's cool, but otherwise you got to have that feel, you know, and playing to a metronome is not going to give you that feel. It's going to give you a metronomic time, but you won't be swinging. That's just for the drums.
I mean, no, I think the metronome is just a point of reference, right? I mean, it's a reference for you when you do your rudiments. It's just keeping you in check.
Yeah, it's just a point of reference. That's it.
I personally don't think it necessarily will get you, you know, mess with your feel per se. I mean, but ultimately, yes, playing with people or even playing with records or whatever, you know, that organic thing that comes from interaction with a human being or someone else's time is something that we gravitate towards and think that, you know, it'll be better. But I think, you know, you can find, I mean, there's, I mean, for me, I mean, I practice with metronome sometimes, you know, sometimes just playing choruses, you know. I know there's certain tempos that I play very well, especially 8 notes on the bass. I already know from playing the bass for, you know, past 25 years, what I'm pretty good at. I usually try to up it. I know those tempos and I up it to a certain place that's uncomfortable for me until it becomes comfortable, right? Like Hutch for me, I just, and when it comes to like odd meters and stuff like that. I never really have practiced it with the metronome per se, because I noticed that everyone I play with odd meters and stuff like that feels it a different kind of way, or plays it
right.
a little different, right?
That's right.
So kind of being adjusted to different ways people play is a little better for me. But I still, if the one of the best references you think are for metronome, you find your space. You find your space, whatever that looks like, but using this as a point of reference to keep you in check. You know what I mean? Whatever that looks like, Mm-hmm.
So Reuben, when you do like say over walking lines or eighth notes or whatever shed with the metronome, do you usually do it all 4, 2 and 4, or do you mix it up?
Usually 2 and 4. Because that's something that's just very solid and what I'm used to. I guess what I'm used to. 2 and 4. If I'm playing in 3, maybe sometimes I've done it in 5 maybe, but usually it's 2 and 4 because that's always something we come back to, right? Not just in swing, but any other kind of music. It's just something that feels good. Maybe at the slow, very very slow tempos, I'll have it on all 4.
Right. Yeah, and I think for pianists, I what I kind of encourage and I've always done is similar to what Greg is saying in terms of with scales and arpeggios, which I guess are kind of the rudiments of piano practice, getting the metronome going, and not all the time, but it's always a good. I mean, I definitely think it's a thing of like you develop your time to a point where you don't need to practice it as much, but I somehow always pull it out at different times, just even if it's a kind of confidence booster to me to be like, okay, it's not so much like I never feel like it teaches you to play in time, but it if you pay attention, it can teach you, it can show you like little nuances and things that you do that go in and out of the time in ways that you may not realize. And so it's not about like, because some people are like, well, if I practice with the metronome too much, I'm going to play metronomically. But those are usually the people that have bad time. And because they're not practicing with the metronome, like if they were to practice with the metronome, like you don't get the groove from the metronome. You just get steady tempo. That's all it's giving you. Even if you do a fancy thing on just 4 on the ands or whatever, it's just a pattern to let you know, like, oh, you're getting into your solo. Because the way we play together, we push the tempo sometimes. We get excited, and that's the human element. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just you want to know. Like sometimes I always feel like if you listen back to yourself and or in a playing situation, like a rhythm section, and it sounds wildly different than it felt while we were playing. Like it sounded as we were, that's not good, because then you have an unrealistic view. If you're like, wow, that was totally, I mean, it happens. It definitely happens. But the metronome's that kind of thing, unless you have somebody there with you, like, whoa, if you got a great drummer or a bass player all the time as a pianist to practice with, you would need a metronome. But I do think, especially with scales, and then you can just do it, come up with creative different ways, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, all these things. That's more just to keep you from going crazy, hearing the same.
Yeah, oh man. that has to drive you crazy. I mean, it drove me crazy just for the rudiments. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then now you can have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
right.
2, 4.
Right.
Like, I need that right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out this Wilcox, and you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now you can do for pianists if you do want to shed, like, I mean, first of all, play with records too. That I know it's not the same as a metronome, but that gives you that human, it's like shed with Ray Brown and Paul Chambers or whatever as a pianist. That's
more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yes, I'm sorry, it's not it's Chicory Academy. Colleen, correct me there. Thank you. Okay. Okay, this is a good question. This is from our friend Clemens. What's up, Clemens? Clemens in Austria. Question to Hutch and Reuben. What's different for you playing in a rhythm section with Peter versus Aaron Goldberg? Oh boy. Clemens with the journalistic cutting questions there, right?
Yeah, this kid, man.
Oh, cool. Aaron Goldberg's on here as well. Okay. Anyway, so what's the answer?
I don't know.
I mean, different cats, different people. I mean, everybody's different. So it could be Peter, Aaron, it could be Brad, it could be Eric Reed, it could be, I mean, we're all different. It could be me, it could be Blade, it could be Reuben, it could be Matt Pemmon, it could be anybody. everyone's different. So the thing is, you have to appreciate that. And I don't go in when I'm playing with Pete. I'm playing with Pete.
Yeah.
When I'm playing with Aaron, I'm playing with Aaron. You know,
I'm like, even trying to come up with an answer, and I'm like,
I don't have an answer. Yeah, it's not really.
Because we're all such individuals. They're such very distinct, different players actually, but they both feel good. They both have great time. They both can play in any time signature. They both can read well. They all have great sound. They all have the same, share the same qualities that we actually gravitate towards, great musicians. They just happen to be very different personalities, stylistically,
Right.
the way they play. And ultimately, that's why we, all the players that Greg just mentioned, you love all those players for certain qualities, in their playing, and they're all very individual and very individualistic. So, I love both of those fellas, and we have great relationships on and off the bandstand with both of them. Long-standing relationships. So that's a good question, but that's the best way we can answer it, I think.
So basically, Reuben and Hutch are saying they do not listen to the piano player. Okay, next question. Because they can't even tell the difference. I thought that was the same dude. I thought he had two different names.
Two Jewish cats. I mean, that's the same.
No, and also I'll just say that he's right. We all have great relationships on and off the bandstands with each of us. Of course, me and Aaron hate each other. We hate each other's guts. But within the bass and drums stuff, no, not at all. Not at all. I love Aaron.
You're there for us. You're there for us to get along with and to help us with our luggage. And I'm joking.
Robert Hall asked an interesting question. Can everyone play over the bar line at once? I think what he means is it possible for everybody in a rhythm section to be playing over the bar line at once? I say, yeah. I mean, we do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's called free. It's called avant-garde. No, I think that actually, you know what? Greg really pulled... it's interesting when you have musical and personal relationships with people, because sometimes it really gets to that point where you can talk through the music. I remember that gig we did in Rome at the end of the jazz festival a couple years ago. And I think it was, who was playing bass?
Oh man, you're doing pretty good.
I know. Who was playing bass? Help me out, Greg. Remember when we were outdoors at the end of the education week and we did the concert, the Rome Jazz Week. Joe Sanders. Exactly. Joe Sanders. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
belated, Joe.
Yeah. So Joe,
he had a birthday.
Okay. Go ahead.
And Hutch, you got a birthday coming up. We'll talk about that in a minute though. So I remember there was a tune we played and it was something like kind of like a invitation or something kind of traditional. And we were playing and like you and Joe just and I can't remember, I think you sort of initiated, just started playing, just killing, we were kind of going for some stuff. And then you just opened things up in a way I'd never heard you do. We actually were not exact. It was so weird. We were playing the form, but it was not that kind, when you play over the bar lines and then you come back in. We were resolving stuff at different places. And some people might say beats were being dropped, but I don't look at it that way because there was a continuity to the music. And we were definitely all playing over the bar lines. And you just kind of cued that somehow. And we started doing it. Was one of those, you have those musical memories of just sort of thrilling moments that aren't planned. And we hope for that to happen every night. But that was a cool thing. I was and it's funny too, because it's coming from you, Hutch. We always, you've been one that's known to be so good at playing forms and being able to play over the bar line and then bam. And then to vibe us if we're not exactly at the right place with you. You're the king of that, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember vibing anyone. You got that all wrong, man. Reuben? I never.
In the comments, can we get an amen?
I
mean, there's an art to it too. There's an art to that. I mean, you vibe even when you're wrong. That's the thing. That's so funny. But that's okay. That's no, but
right, it's always coming from a seriousness and caring about the music. I mean, you've always. Even when we met and we were teenagers, you were just like, "Come on, man."
Like,
Yeah.
You're right, though. I do vibe. Right.
Yeah, it used to be a time police.
Yeah, we
until you.
Remember, we go.
Oh yeah, man. Especially when, remember when we first got with Diane, oh my gosh, you were the time police, man. You were the time police. I'd be like, yo, calm down. It's gonna be all right. He's like,
that's because I have been playing with, like top tier cats.
Ray Brown, bam.
No,
Ray Brown, bam.
It was just unnecessary. It was just unnecessary policing at the time.
It was unnecessary.
But we accepted it. We accepted you. We accepted it. We accepted it. It's cool. It's cool.
The pain you were putting me through.
Okay.
The pain you were putting me through. Necessary, man. No, he's right.
It died down after about 3 years or so. It was cool. It was all right.
3 years of 175 nights gigs per year.
Hey, didn't we win those Grammys though?
Ooh,
we won those Grammys.
Bam.
You can say I was like Michael Jordan, the last dance, baby.
We won those. We won those Grammy certificates.
That's how I was. I was Michael.
Oh my God! Let me hear this.
Peter was Kerr.
Horace Grant.
Of course.
Peter was Kerr, right?
Craig Hodges. Reuben was Craig Hodges.
And Reuben was the bench boy.
Oh wow. Okay, moving on. Okay, no, actually, you know what it was? Greg, when he was doing the time police.
Was Phil Jackson. No, Peter's Phil Jackson and Reuben's Scottie Pippen.
Okay. Still bitter and salty. Like Scottie Pippen. Hey, you saw the documentary. Come on, man.
Oh God. Yeah.
Hey, I didn't realize that. I forgot that he did sit out that fucking play of the game. He sat out the last play of the game. Yeah. Scottie, shame on him, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to
it.
I'm a team player. Me? All right, open studio. I'm a team player. Me.
But I'd say to answer the question, I think we all agree. Yes, right. We can all play over the bar line at the same time.
Yeah. Move on. Yeah.
Tim says, any advice for learning difficult forms? Yeah, I'd love to hear this from both of you. Maybe you, Hutch, first, because you're both a master at this. Take us through your process. And don't be like, man, you just got to hear it. No, take us through your process.
It's what Hutch does this. Hutch is one of the, most great drummers know how to just memorize.
Yeah, you have to, because we look in this way away from the band. So
right.
It's hard to like be like this. So what I do is, it's so simple. You think it's crazy. If I know that if you send me 5 tunes, right, and it's 5 days, well, I do a tune a day. I memorize a tune a day. So, and I start with the hardest tune first. I don't start with the easy. I start with the hardest tune, the hardest part of the hardest tune, and I listen to it. So I listen to one tune. Maybe I listen to 2 hours straight, and then I got it. Mm-hmm. And then I listen to that tune for the rest of the day, just to learn, just to enjoy the tune, not pressing on. I got to learn this part, and because I figure the more you can hum, even on those hard tunes where the time is all over the place, the more you can hum the melody, the more you can play. Mm-hmm. And it's all, like Betty said, it's all about the melody. The more you can hum the melody, 9 times out of 10, the form is going to be around that. So unless they're writing some shit that's really ridiculous. So that's how I memorize music. I don't know what you do, Rube.
No, well, pretty much the same thing. Just internalizing it, as much as you possibly can. Let it be a part of you as much as you possibly can. I always notice most, especially it seems like a lot of the great young musicians these days, when even the hard tunes, when they're not looking at music, man, so much great things come out. Even in the hardest tunes, like some of the best music, and that taught me in the past like 5 years, especially when I see some of these cats like just ripping through some music and they got like, it'd be hard. Obviously they internalize it a certain kind of way. They spent as much time away from and I mean, it's something to that, but you have to do it over and over and over. You got to do it a lot to be able to get your whole faculties to be able to do it over and over and memorize things like that. So, because I mean, I think that's just internalizing the best you can in a short period of time is the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I would just echo all that, and also, what Hutch there said, and I went in the comments and said, this Hutch is the hardest first, like having the discipline and the fortitude to practice on the hardest one first, because the thing is, like, Hutch will practice, and I've seen him do this on the road. He's also up early in the morning, and of course, after the gig, Hutch goes straight to his room, drinks a glass of 2% milk, and goes to bed. So he's been well rested. He's been well rested. And then
2% milk.
But
that's funny.
But I mean, no matter what, like, I mean, he's there. We've seen it. Like, he'll have his headphones on and he's listening to that hardest tune. He's not just shedding on it or being like, oh, I'll get it later. And so, and I think that what that reminded me is what you said a couple weeks ago, Reuben, in the green room thing, when you were like, somebody asked about, man, how do I practice this thing? And you were like, well, practice the stuff you don't know how to do first. Don't spend time, like, go right to the stuff that you need to. And I think in this case, like, if you have 5 tunes, the hardest tune, and in this case, the hardest form, your brain and your mind and your ears needs more time to absorb it. So if you procrastinate on that, even if you shed on it a whole lot that last day, you're not giving yourself the gift of time to be able to absorb it, because not only you shed on that the first day, but then your brain, it's like osmosis. It kind of creeps in. It's like you listen to it before you go to sleep and you wake up and you're like a little bit further along. And so I think a lot of times people think like, oh man, these guys have these secret ways of playing, or they're born being able to play over forms. And they'll be like, and no, it's not that. Sometimes it's just the discipline of little things like this.
And revisiting it.
No, check this out. Go ahead, brother.
What's funny for me is that like a few months ago, in October. Anyway, I did these gigs with great piano Shy Maestro, and he had some hard music, and I was shedding, trying to get through it. I had all these bass lines. I was like, some tricky forms here and there.
And once you start playing,
usually that's it. Boom. You don't play it ever again. I'm like, I got through those 10 gigs. But what I did just recently, actually, now that I have time, I was like, you know what? Let me revisit this tune again really quick.
Yeah, exactly.
And I had absorbed myself with those tunes for like weeks, and like, finally, and I started to play the tunes again. It was like, wow, it didn't feel as
crazy.
You know what I mean? Because I had internalized it a certain kind of way that it stuck with me. You know what I mean? And some passages were still like, oh, okay, yeah, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta practice it. I was like, all right, okay, I got this now. So I mean, there's something to it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you, Peter, you've been part of this also. When we've been on the road with Josh or with anybody, those sound checks. Those sound checks are rehearsal times.
Yep.
So sometimes there is no time. Like if he brings in a tune, he just has a tune. And for me, I gotta be honest, I'm so guilty of this. Like, because I know I can memorize music so quick. Like sometimes I just like, okay, we'll get it when we get there. Like, because I want to see what's going to happen when we start playing. And when you're working with guys like yourself, like Josh, who already have a concept for what it is, makes my job easier, because then I could just be like, okay, well, what you hearing? That famous line, man, what you hearing, man? What you hearing on this? I do mean it. What you hearing on this? Because then usually you'll say something and I'll already, my mind will already be someplace, and I'll hear what you're saying. I'm like, okay, here we go. And then we off, you know what I mean? So that's the way, but you don't want to do that too often unless it's people that you really know. Like I do that. I know you guys, we've been playing together for years. If it's someone I don't know, then it's not professional to come in like that. So you got to shed the music, basically. Mm-hmm. That's how you learn. Shed.
Right. Yeah. Did you just hear that he actually doesn't hold our professionalism in the same regard? Did you just say that, Peter?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we what's up.
He went over the bar line of our personal relationship, is what he
okay,
just
it's cool.
Yeah.
He won't check out the music because he knows it's gonna be all right. That's good. All right. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
we're coming right towards the end here. We're gonna take. I got two more questions I was gonna grab on here, and I just want to say thank you to these gentlemen for being here, and thank all you guys for being on here. This is so cool to just come on here and be able to both catch up with each other, but also to be able to hopefully give you guys some just value for kind of the stuff that we talk about. Keep the community growing and keep the community supportive and together. But rhythm section workout, it's available now. You can. I would recommend you buy it like this weekend because it's 50% off. And so be like a charter member, which is cool, but it's going to be the only reason it's all finished, but we have some last minute. We did a lot of transcription on this, on all the instruments, and let me just throw a couple things at you guys. Boom, if I can find it here. Vamp till the next episode. Okay, we got 9 tunes with fully transcribed trio performances, drums. I mean, this guy who's doing the drums, Hutch, you gotta meet this guy. This guy, he's incredible, man.
Who's that?
His name is Nesbitt, Charles Nesbitt, I think. And man, he's like, yeah, I know Hutch's stuff. I transcribe all the stuff. I am Hutch. No, he didn't say that, but I have the feeling he's getting close, man. He called us the other day. He called Adam and was like, man, I'm trying to like this whole section. I can't see Greg because there was no camera on him, and he's playing all like mallets and symbol abstraction. It's really hard for me to transcribe. I was like, dude, if I was transcribing, I'd be like symbol abstractions for 20 bars. Like a line after. He wanted to catch everyone that you were playing, So it's a lot of cool. We do in walk bud, in a melody. We have a real kind of intricate arrangement because we wanted to show how do you navigate as a rhythm section, trio arrangements, and things like that. We do some bebop stuff. We got Crazyology, Cuba, New Orleans, a lot of just the repertoire we've been playing a lot and trying to cover across sections of grooves and types of tunes and ways to navigate. And then we got play-alongs for every instrument on In Walk Bud, Crazyology, Autumn Leaves, and Monk's Dream. How to approach new tunes, arrange as a trio, improvise together, accompany, lock in the time, listen, and a lot more. So we hope you guys check that out.
Hello.
Yeah. And then what else do you guys have going on independent of what we're doing here, Open Studio, whatever?
So check me out on Instagram Live. I'm gonna be on like next week. And check me on Facebook Live too, because it's gonna be epic, yo.
Actually, guys, epic. I'm gonna have Terry Lynn Carrington on. I'm gonna have Omar Keem on. We're gonna have a lot of people on my IG, so you know what to do. Come get those. Yeah. I'm talking like I'm on my IG. Come get those lessons at Greg Hutchinson at me.com. But you gotta first go to Open Studio and sign up for everything. Because you know why? Because look, you can get it for that.
And it's going to be epic.
Listen. You're not spending no money from the government payout. This ain't coming out your food stamps. This ain't coming out your money for your weed. All you got to do is drop it.
All right. Speaking of Instagram, you guys check this out. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I'm going to see if I can share this on here. Hold on a second. Can you see that? Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, I think I need Rachel to let me do this. Okay, check this out. Okay, we're going next level. Just check this out. Check this.
Oh boy.
All right, from the groove?
Yeah, that was really good too, man.
Another groove that we
Jazz. Yeah. Jazz music. Jazz.
So you guys do want to stay for the next 2 hours?
No, I'm trying to start, man. I'm being serious. I was ready. Just start it, man. Just start it, and we'll go there. Yeah, make it short. Yeah, make it short.
Can I start?
Ooh, Fat Peter.
All right, ready?
That's a G-rated outtake.
Yeah, that's the clean outtakes. Once you get the chorus, we might give you the full outtakes, but that was kind of fun. Oh. But if you check out,
that's funny.
Check out the Open Studio Instagram. You can see all that, which is Hey Open Studio. But and also, definitely don't check out Reuben's Instagram because he doesn't have one. But we're gonna send him the link to sign up. Check out Hutch on Instagram, man. He's got great.
Send him a link because he's supposed to be on me next week. So I don't know how to do it.
I'm gonna be there. I'm
gonna be on Instagram. You want to be on Skype or something? What are you trying to do, man?
That's right.
That's how much I love you, man. I'm opening up an account just to come on and kick it with you, bruh. It's gonna be
wow. I had Harlan on. I thought that was epic, but
yeah, it's gonna be epic. We're gonna chop it up, yo.
Whoa,
Right,
whoa.
chop it up. Tell them, chop it up.
All right. Yeah. On that note, we're gonna roll out of here because we're a little bit over here. But thank you guys. Of course, we're gonna have Greg and Reuben back if they'll come, and I know that they will. Join me tonight. I do a little Friday solo piano concert, and you know, once we can get the planes going again, we're gonna have a social distance trio at Open Studio. That's coming whenever we're allowed to do that. But join me 8 p.m. Eastern.
How many have this? Was the 20th one, right? 27th?
No, it's number 9, man. Number 9.
Okay.
Number 9.
Oh, 20th? Okay.
It's once a week. It's once a week.
Love
Peter
you,
Martin
brother.
YouTube. Love you guys. Thank you, Reuben Rogers. Thanks,
man.
Greg Hutchinson. Thanks,
hey,
Ryan. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Stay spiritually connected. Physically distant, spiritually connected.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Got that.
Yeah. Love you guys. Hey, what happened?